is a professional prosecutor. We just hope that the deputy prosecutor himself will take the time to learn the case and also interact with the defense, because just as I am accustomed to interacting with the former chief prosecutor, I expect that the deputy prosecutor who has now assumed that role will interact with me.
Attorney, with respect to the application or the motion that you filed pertaining to the disqualification of 2 of the 3 judges, we are awaiting the result of that. Do you have insights, or were there already information with respect to the result from the plenary session?
Well, let's get this straight. I'm defense counsel. I don't sit in chambers. I'm not a party or a fly on the wall in the discussions of the judges themselves. The judges, as you will be aware from the decision which was issued, have been required, I'm talking about the 2 judges who the defense requested to disqualify, have been required to make their observations by a certain date, and that was yesterday. They would have made their observations. I'm not sure whether those observations are disclosed to defense counsel at this moment in time. They will be disclosed in due course once the plenary have sat and once the presidency renders its decision, and we will know what they decide. Let me make one thing clear. We invited the judges to disqualify themselves, or to excuse themselves, right, as a matter of courtesy and out of respect. They said that we shouldn't do that. Well, we shouldn't do that, but we acted out of politeness and courtesy. It's not our position to criticize judges. Judges are independent, they have a degree of integrity, that's presumed integrity, and we're the last people to question their integrity. However, this whole issue with respect to jurisdiction has already been litigated, and litigated extensively, and those 2 judges were party to that decision. That's what the request for disqualification is all about.
Attorney, it is also a known fact that the former president is now the mayor of the city of Davao. Are you already processing everything with respect to his oath-taking?
I'm not going to talk about oath-taking or anything. That's a legal question which is being handled by his Filipino lawyers.
Okay.
73 days.
Oh yeah, he's been there for 73 days already, held inside the ICC detention facility, attorney. Do you think that we're looking at years, or hopefully the soonest possible time that he'll be released?
As far as I'm concerned, it's always the soonest possible. As I've told you many times before, there are certain preconditions which have to be met before an individual can be released at the ICC. It's not like one of your run-of-the-mill criminal cases where you can post bail and just get out and go home. No, in order for someone to be released here, there has to be a willing state party capable of receiving him onto its territory. And that's what we're looking at. It's a long process. It's something which requires a certain degree of diplomacy. And let me just come back once again to this whole issue of the elections. Okay? People miss the point. The former president won a landslide victory.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a finger in the eye to the people who threw him over here.
Correct.
That's the real point of the elections. It was a protest vote.
Yes. Attorney, with respect to the prosecution's request or motions, twice they were granted that the presentation of witnesses will be extended. What is the implication of that with relation to the longevity of the trial in general?
Well, perhaps if we feel that we've been disclosed statements and witnesses, evidence at a late stage, then it could formulate a request on my part for the postponement of the confirmation hearing, but I'm not asking to postpone a confirmation hearing at the present moment in time at all. In fact, I'm quite happy for it to be brought forward, and I wish it would be.
Yeah. Because currently, attorney, there has been a report that one of the senator of the Philippines found out that there were ICC investigators already in the Philippines right now trying to ask retired policeman or policeman to sign a, what do you call that, an affidavit to strengthen their case here in the ICC. Is this also in line with the particular request that they have to delay the presentation of the witnesses?
I don't know what's going on in the office of the prosecutor. I've heard these allegations. I'm certainly not going to comment on the evidence in a media interview. I'm not allowed to do that, and I do not propose to do that. But I've certainly heard of these allegations, and they will be processed by the defense team and used in due course.
Should the government of the Philippines, the president himself, request for the ICC that our former president be brought back to the Philippines, can that be facilitated?
Yes.
Thank you. Attorney, is there...
Grabe, pwede pala ho yun, mga kababayan. Pwede ho pala mag-request itong si Marcos Jr. para mapauwi itong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Ano ho kayang sasabihin na naman itong si Marcos Jr. sa mga banat na to nitong si Atty. Kaufman, no? Kaya kung diyan tayo mag-umpisa. Mag-umpisa tayo diyan sa pag-uusap na maipabalik sa Pilipinas itong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Hanggat hindi napapauwi dito si Tatay Digong, wag ho muna tayong nga. Wala ho muna tayong pwedeng pag-usapan.
Something that you want to address the Filipino community all over the world with respect to what's happening, what we see as an illegal detention and a curtailment of his freedom as a Filipino citizen.
I want to tell the Filipino community around the world who support the president to keep his spirits up, to support him, but to support him lawfully,
Yes.
and with all respect for due process, the judges and the victims, who I've said time and time again, have an important role to play in this case,
Yes.
and they have a right to have their voices heard. So respect that. Has nothing to do with his innocence. We will fight for that, and we will hopefully bring him home soon. Thank you very much.
Attorney. Have a great day. God bless you, sir.
Maraming salamat dito kay Atty. Kaufman. Ayun naman ho, mga kababayan, kung narinig nyo ho yung napakahusay na abogado na yan, pakinggan naman ho natin itong palsipikadong naging Chief Justice. Naging Chief Justice ho ito si Bersamin, di ba? Pakinggan ho natin kung paano niya ipagtanggol ang kanyang amo na si Marcos Jr. Kaugnay dyan sa mga natanggap ho niyang batikos doon sa kanyang ilinabas na courtesy resignation sa kanyang mga kabinete. Courtesy resignation, di ba? Ano nga lang yun Ika nga dahil masyado na namang maraming napupuna ang ating mga kababayan sa kanyang administrasyon, kailangan na naman ho ng diversionary tactics. Magtatawag ka ng courtesy resignation, ngayon nagsipasa ng resignation yung mga gabineto mo. Hindi mo naman tinatanggap yung iba. Kung talagang gusto mong magkaroon ng pagbabago dito sa bansa na to, Marcos Jr., ikaw mag-resign. Diba? Hindi yung kung sino-sino pinagre-resign mo. Wala naman silang kinalaman niya sa mga kapalpakan na nangyayari na yan. Lahat ng nangyayari na yan sa administrasyon mo, kayong dalawa ni Bersamin ang dapat sisihin dyan. Ito, pakinggan natin to si Lucas Bersamin.
Walang issue na corruption dyan. Maybe there is just a perception, I don't know how fair or unfair that perception is, na mas malimit siya sa labas ng bansa. Yun ang recurring na pinapadating sa amin. Ngunit wag na natin siyang husgahan, no? Whether inefficiency yan o hindi, that's not up for us to do. But the evaluation showed that it was time to have her rest muna.
So nag-underperform na po?
Underperform siguro ang tawag dyan. Oo, kasi kung may expectations ang presidente and you do not perform, ang messaging is underperformance is not going to be allowed. Oo. Yung kay Secretary Acosar, hindi mo rin masabing ko
Inaabangan ko kung pagbibitiw itong kay J. Ruiz dito kay itong si Anticler, ayaw natin mag-resign yan. Yaang si Larry Gadon kumbaga, kung magre-resign yan si Larry Gadon, matagal na dapat nag-resign yan. Paswelduhan, wala namang ginagawa sa pamahalaan, di ba? Pero malulungkot tayo kung sakaling yung mga individual na yan, hindi na ho natin makita sa administrasyon ni Marcos Jr. Sila lang naman ho kasi yung mga individual na para mapag-usapan yung mga kapalpakan ni Marcos Jr. Kailangan magsalita ng dalawang opisyal nitong si Marcos Jr.
corruption yan, wala. Hindi mo rin masabing underperformance, under-delivery. Alam mo, napakataas yung nilagay niyang standard niya when he accepted the job. But you know, he is a very efficient he was very efficient in the private sector, and we expect that the president expected na makapag-deliver siya. Pero I don't know if he set the standard too high for himself dahil 1 million housing a year. housing units. There may have been obstacles in his way which were beyond his control and beyond the control of government. But to us now, because of the results of the election, it's time for the president to take him out there and bring another one who might make a better performance. Ganyan ang tingin ko dun sa kaso ni Secretary Acosar. Wala namang masamang tinapay yan si Secretary Acosar.
Mga mare-retain naman po, are there new instructions from the President? Because in his message in demanding and calling for the submission of courtesy resignations, there was a sense of urgency. He wanted results and he wanted them fast. Ano ho kaya yung, sabi niyo nga, soldiers kayo, ano ho yung panibagong marching orders ng Pangulo from here on?
Pag-usapan muna natin yung mga in-announce ko na ma-retain, yung economic team. Ano? Ang marching orders ni Presidente dyan is to enhance yung ating economic situation.
Akala mo kung makapagsalita itong si Boy na merong marching order itong si Marcos Jr., akala mo talagang merong meron silang ginagawa. Anong marching order? Nakanang tokwa, di ba? Yan ang problema dito sa administrasyon na to. Puro ho sila daldal, puro ho sila dakdake. Wala naman hong natatapos. Wala hong nagagawa sa totoo lang. Kaya wala hong kwenta yan. Ika nga ano ho yan, puro kapambubolan na naman ho nitong si Marcos Jr. Wala na naman ho silang mapagbalingan ng mga isyong kinaharap po ng ating bansa. Kaya kung ano-ano na naman hong naiisip niyang optics para mapakita na grabe, kawawa naman presidente, sobrang bait niya, linuloko siya ng mga gabinete niya. Walang alam si Marcos Jr. dyan sa mga kapalpakan ng gabinete niya. Diba ganun ho ang ganun ho ang gusto nilang ipintang larawan dyan sa mga kaganapan na yan. Tuloy natin.
To the eyes of the outside world, at saka dito sa Pilipinas, yung actual na economic health natin. Si Secretary Balisacan has been performing very well. He has been, practically, ang sabi ni Presidente sa kanya, he's a genius. Dahil mahirap mong gawin yung ginagawa niyan sa economic level. Si Secretary Frederick Go sa investments at saka economic matters ay walang may tatawar, hindi mo matatawaran yung kapasidad niya. Kasi he's a very experienced economist and businessman. Si Secretary Recto, that is the same thing that we have to say. Kasi si Secretary Recto from day one of his service, he came in midway in the past 3 years. Siya naman kagad action man yan eh. You know, he was working under financial limitations or the fiscal space na nadatniyan niya masikip. Pero up to now, we have remained very active tayo because of the government's prioritization of spending. No? Si Secretary Amina Pangandaman naman, no one can be better than her sa budget, DBM. She can deny your request with grace. And that is very important because no one will ever get mad at her. She is considered as the the model for fiscal management, budget. Hindi ka pwedeng umalma dyan. So, the President decided to retain these 5 members of the economic team so that there will be no more problems sa perception about where the country is going.
Okay. Next question is Maricela Lili, TV5.
Sir, magandang hapon po. Sir, who will replace Secretary Popo Lotilla in DOE? Will there be changes in OSG? And what's the target of the President? How soon will be the evaluation, the result of the evaluation?
Just a word. Yeah. DOE will in the meanwhile be in the hands of an acting secretary, one of the undersecretaries, si former Congresswoman Sharon Garin. Any of the undersecretaries could have been chosen to become the OIC, but I think, okay. I was corrected. OIC, not acting secretary, no? Kasi ibang kategorya yun. OIC, very effective naman sila. Secretary Lotilla himself suggested that any of his undersecretaries right now could stand in as OIC.
Sir, how soon is the what's the target of the president, the timetable for evaluation?
Well, si Presidente, narinig nyo siya, immediate. But you know, humanly possible na evaluation is one at a time. Hindi mo pwedeng i-lump sum yung mga cabinet secretaries because each has a different area of responsibility. Each has a burden that is different from the other, from the next one. If you will give me the liberty of saying, yung pag-evaluate, you must also be careful, hindi ka pwedeng arbitrary dyan. You know that the President loves us all, and he joked yesterday during that presentation in the Kalayaan Hall when he was saying, I greet also the members of the cabinet. Do I still have a cabinet? Sabi niya, no? But that's not the reality of it. There is an evaluation ongoing now of performance. But each cabinet secretary will be evaluated depende sa tasks, depende sa goals ng kanyang department or agency.
Sir, former ES Vic Rodriguez said that there's no need for courtesy resignation, to call for courtesy resignation of all cabinet secretaries because the core problem is the president himself. Optics lang daw.
Alam mo si Vic Rodriguez, daldal ng daldal yan eh. Do you listen to him? Huh? Why was he taken out of the office? Wala pa siyang 3 buwan. Gusto niya makipag-away, wag na. Kaya kantsaw lang siya eh. Kantsaw ng...
For your information, di ho siya tinanggal sa pwesto. Ito talagang si Lucas Bersamin, no? Hindi ho siya tinanggal. Umalis ho siya. Nagbitiw ho siya bilang executive secretary kasi hindi ho niya masikmura yung mga pinagagawa niyo ngayon. Kuha niyo ho ba, Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin, ang dahilan ng pagbibitiw nitong si Vic Rodriguez bilang Executive Secretary dahil hindi niya kayang gawin yung mga ginagawa niyo ngayon. Hindi niya ho kayang sabihin yung mga sinasabi niya na yan. Hindi niya ho kayang magpakaaso o magpakagag sa isang tao na puro kalokohan ng ginagawa. Hindi ho niya kayang magbulag-bulagan sa mga kalokohan ng kanyang amo para lamang makakubra ng pera. Hindi ho niya kayang gawin yun. Kung kayo ho, hindi ko naman sinasabi na kumukubra kayo kung ano pa man Pero yun ang karakter nitong si Atty. Vic Rodriguez. Ngayon, diyan sa kaso nyo na yan bilang Executive Secretary, hindi ko alam kung kayo ba masisikmura nyo yung mga ganong klaseng bagay na mga naranasan nitong si Atty. Vic Rodriguez diyan sa pwestong binigay sa inyo ng amo niya dati. Yun. Kumbaga, kung kayo lang naman, wala naman hong naniniwala sa inyo. Sa totoo lang, dito kay Lucas Bersamin, wala akong kredibilidad yung mama na yan. Ni isa, naging executive secretary ang mama na yan. Ni isang salita na lumabas sa bunga. Kung meron ngang pinakaunang dapat mag-resign sa gabinete ni Marcos Jr., kayo ho yun. Dahil bilang isang executive secretary, isa sa mga obligasyon nyo na iligtas sa tiyak na kapahamakan ang iyong principal. Dahil alter ego kayo. Dahil kayo ang kutawagin ni Little President. Correct ako kung mali ako Isa sa mga obligasyon nyo, panatiliin na laging nasa tama ang mga shot call na ginagawa ng presidente. Pero base ho sa paglilingkod nyo bilang executive secretary, base sa mga binibigay yung payo siguro sa kanya, nagkakahindot-hindot ho ang kanyang administrasyon. So, ibig sabihin, hindi nyo ho nagagawa ng maayos ang inyong trabaho bilang executive secretary. Kasi napakarami hong problemang kinahaharap ng administrasyon. Una na dyan, yung paglilipat ng pondo ng PhilHealth. Dapat nandun ho kayo sa likod ng nitong si Marcos Jr. para sabihin, "Og yan sir, mayayari tayo dyan. Sir President, di tayo pwede dyan. Kasi bawal yan. Meron nakasado sa batas yan. Di pwedeng basta-basta kunin yan." O, di ba? No, pero dahil nga naman nagpapapogi kayo, baka kaya nating ikutan yan. Kaya yan, di ba? Baka ganun ho yung mga ganun ang payo nyo sa kanya, di ba? O kagaya ho ng mga ng 20 pesos na bigas. Naku sir, masyadong obvious yan na ho yan. Ika nga dahil lang sa kasalukuyang eleksyon kaya kayo kaya nagkakaroon ng ganyang klaseng programa ang administrasyon nyo, di ba? O, wag nyo na hong ituloy yan. Hindi ho makakabango sa inyo yan. O, dito sa impeachment ni BP Sara, pwede nyo sabihin bilang executive secretary, "Mr. President, hinalal yan. Hindi naman siya kinakampihan ko si Sara. Hindi magiging maganda ang balik sa inyo niyan." Concern ako sa inyo kasi executive secretary nyo ako eh. Diba? Isa sa mga obligasyon ko na papugiin kayo sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Hindi basta-basta gumuho yung political base nyo, yung inyong performance, yung inyong trust and approval rating. Isa ho yan sa pinangangalagaan ng isang executive secretary. Kaya pansinin nyo, mga executive secretary, laging abogado. Kasi pagka mag-uusap ang presidente at executive secretary, o yan, sa tingin mo, meron ba tayong dyan? Magkakaproblema ba tayo dyan? Pero ito, siyempre, dating Chief Justice, lahat pwede dyan, kaya yan. Ikutan natin yan, walang problema yan. Yung kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, napag-usapan siguro, cabinet meeting. Ano masasabi mo, Bersamin? Idaan natin sa Interpol para mapadala sa Dahig Netherlands si Digong. Kaya? Kaya yan, sir, kaya. Meron tayong dyan, meron tayong agreement, meron tayong kasunduan na kung sakaling magkaroon ng hindi man ho red notice di ba? Diffusion notice pa lang. Diffusion order pa lang ho mga kababayan. Pinadala na sa Dahig Netherlands. So, yun na nga ho sinasabi natin. Kung merong mga isang tao na dapat magbitiw sa gabinete ni Bangag, kayo ho yun, Lucas Bersamin. Sir, kayo ho yun. Mawalang galang Kayo ho, kung merong mga dapat masibak sa administrasyon na to, kung merong mga pinakaunang dapat tanggalin ito si Marcos Jr., kayo ho yun. Dahil kayo ho, ang isa sa mga nagpahamak sa kanya, dahil nga naman abogado kayo, papaniwalaan kayo, dati kayong Chief Justice, di ba? Kasi ang problema, yung mga ipagpalagay na natin na naikutan nyo na yung batas, pero yung pananaw ng ating mga kababayan na mali ang pinagagawa ng presidente, hindi niya ho basta-basta malulusutan yan. Yung ginawang impeachment dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte, kahit ano pang i-deny ni Marcos Jr. na hindi ko alam yan, wala na akong magagawa. Hindi ako sinunod ng House of Representatives, kesyo ganito, kesyo ganyan. Hindi. Ginusto niya ho yun. At noong nangyayari yun, pwede niyong tawagan ng presidente, "Mr. President, tagilid ka dyan. Mayayari ka sa galaw na yan." Hindi, alam nyo naman, tagilid kayo dyan. Kung ako sa inyo, huwag nyo nang ituloy yan. Pinagpatuloy pa rin kung anong nangyari. Hindi mo na protektahan ang principal mo para sa mga yung balik ng mga pinaggagawa nyo, yung kung paano tanggapin yan ng ating mga kababayan. Yun ang problema nitong si Lucas Bersamin. Ngayon, para sabihin mo sa amin na huwag paniwalaan itong si Vic Rodriguez kasi puro batikos lang o kung ano man ang sinasabi sa administrasyon nitong si Bangag. Nako, etong si Vic Rodriguez, kung prinsipyo at paninindigan lang ang pinag-uusapan dyan, sa kanya na kami kasi kayo nagtagal kayo dyan Sa kabila ng napakaraming iskandalong kinaharap ng presidente, doon pa lang sa kulang-kulang na BICAM report at pinagpilitan pa rin pirmahan yung budget na yan. Gayong alam nyo naman na palsipikado yan. Di ba? Sino papakinggan namin kung sakaling magsalita kayong dalawa? Sige nga mga kababayan, mag-comment po kayo sa baba. Sino ang mas pinapaniwalaan nyo? Itong si Lucas Bersamin o itong si Atty. Vic Rodriguez? Comment nyo sa baba.
That's when you see in the middle of night, a dog barking at the fence. If you want to get up, you get up and throw stones at that dog. But we will not do that to him.
Ba't binabanatan mo? Ba't binabanatan mo? Diba? Marami pa nga tayo naririnig-rinig pati yung seguridad nitong si Atty. Vic Rodriguez talagang pinupuntirya ng mga galit sa kanya. Ano sinasabi nito na hindi pinapansin itong si Atty. Vic Rodriguez? Kung alam nyo lang mga kababayan.
Huwag na nating pansinin.
Salamat, ES.
Next question, Tristan Nadalo, Newswatch.
Hi sir, good afternoon po. Sir, based dito sa initial na results nung evaluation po, no, baka lang may perception yung tao walang bagong pumalit or parang new breed na dinagdag. Are we expecting the President na may mga idadagdag siya talagang wala doon sa initial na list, sir?
Yes. Alam mo, mahirap natin i-prejudge yung actions that will be taken. But you can be sure that the President really wants to be responsive to the popular clamor for performance, for change. Alam nyo, one time, recently lang, sinabi niya na we seem not to be delivering to the common tao because they are the greater number of our people. So what must we do? We must have action men. So you can be sure that that is the direction that this, I'm not calling this a purge, it's a cleansing. Dahil gusto ni Presidente talaga, mahal niya ang taong bayan eh. If you listen to him very carefully.
Mahal niya daw ho ang taong bayan. Ito tinatanga na naman tayo nitong si Lucas Bersamin. Mahal niya taong bayan pero kinuha niya yung pera ng taong bayan na dapat sana ay ginagamit panggamot para sa mga mahihirap, para sa medical assistance ng mga mahihirap. Mahal niya ho ang taong bayan. Wala akong ginawa kundi mamigay ng kaliwat kanan na ayuda na dapat sana yung pondo na yun ipaggawa ng mga infrastruktura, eskwelahan, tulay at kung ano pa mapapakinabangan para sa ekonomiya ng ating bansa. Pinamigay ho bilang ayuda. Walang humpay na pamimigay ng ayuda. Mahal niya ang madlang Pilipino sa lagay na yan. Ganyan ho kasinungaling yan si Lucas Bersamin. Kaya kayo na ho mga kababayan, timbangin nyo ho yung mga sinasabi ng mama na yan. Dahil ano ho yan, ika nga, yung kalahati ng mga nangyayari ngayon sa ating bansa, kung meron man dapat sisihin, isa ho dyan yang si Lucas Bersamin. Kumuha-kuha ka pa ng dating Chief Justice, ipapahamak ka lang pala. Wag na lang. Doon na lang ako doon sa abogado na by the book, pagka yan mali. Hindi yung tipong bibigyan ka niya ng alternative na sagot para lang maikutan at para lang ma-fulfill yung kagustuhan mo na mangyari yung isang bagay na kahit alam niyang illegal, bibigay sa'yo para mapasaya niya ito si Marcos Jr. Tama yan, Lucas Bersamin, pagbigyan mo lang. Pagbigyan mo lang yung presidente mo. Bigay mo lahat ng gusto niya. Kahit na alam mong pansipikado, gawin niyo ho yan. Kahit na alam niyong merong humaharang na batas, gawin niyo ho yan. The best yan.
His language were not measured, they were spontaneous tungkol sa sentiment niya na it's time to serve again, to show the people that we are serving them.
No.
Yung standard.
Just a follow-up na lang po. Yung action man, sir, ibig sabihin may mga bagong papasok na wala doon sa original list ng...
Hindi naman. Maaring meron. No? I cannot just say that now because until the President has decided, no one can second guess what the President really has in his heart. Okay? Now, you know that the President, based on how you observed him, is a sincere individual. He has been very frank.
Sincere individual. Ano sabi niya? Na not in a million years. Hindi makakapasok dito ang ICC. Wala silang jurisdiction. Pumasok ang ICC. Hindi ako pabor sa impeachment ni BP Sara. Mabilis pa sa alas 4, na-impeach si BP Sara. Sincere ho ang tawag dyan, ha. Yung tono ni Marcos Jr. nung nagpa-interview siya kay Kato Nying, wala akong sinabi yun dun sa sincerity ng kanyang boses nung sinasabi niya na hindi pa papasukin ng ICC dito para dakpin itong si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Ganun na ganun, no? Mas sincere siya nun. Wala na akong mas titindi pa sa sincerity ng boses niya nung sinasabi niya yung mga katagana yun. Not in 100 years, million years na napapasok dito ang ICC dahil wala siya rin jurisdiction. Diba? No, meron pa bang sincere noong sinabi niya na noong nangyari ang Marawi Siege, wala ang mga armas sa mga pumasok. Diba, sincere siya nun? Pero anong nakuha, lumabas sa mga video sa social media? Naku, full battle gear ho yung mga sundalo. Kaya pagka sinasabi na nitong si Lucas Bersamin na sincero itong si Marcos Jr., mag-isip-isip na ho kayo. Dahil panigurado, pambubudol na naman ho ang ginagawa ng mama na yan.
Wala siyang tinatago eh. Walang disguise. So, when the time comes for each of the individuals, 52 na ang nag-submit, we do not know how this 52 will fare. No? Meron na tayong 5 na na-retain and 2 na pagbabakasyonin. Literally. Okay?
I think that's all. Yes.
Ang bottom line dito, ang ginagawa na yan ng Malacanang, ano ho yan? Hindi ho yan revamp, hindi ho yan tweaking, hindi ho yan para mapagandang performance ng